Hi my dear students, welcome back to new session. The today topic is regarding double fertilization. After the entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac, the pollen tube which is going to release two male gametes into the cytoplasm of synergid cell. The pollen tube which is going to release two male gametes into the cytoplasm of synergid cell. Now these two male gamete, one male gamete is going to move towards the egg cell and second male gamete is going to move towards the central cell, nothing but polar cell, right? Now one male gamete is going to fuse with the egg cell, that is we can call as fertilization, nothing but syngamy. After the fertilization, diploid cell is formed, that we can call as a zygote. The zygote which is undergoes a mitotic division to become as an embryo, that is first fertilization we can call as syngamy or nothing but fertilization. And the second male gamete is there now. The second male gamete is going to fuse with the central cell. The central cell is already diploid in condition, two nucleus are present in the central cell. Now one more male gamete. So such a fusion of male gamete with a diploid cell, it is called as triple fusion, right? So due to this triple fusion, triploid cells are formed, that we can call as endosperm. That we can call as what? Endosperm. Now syngamy as well as triple fusion collectively we can call as what? Double fertilization. Got the point? What is double fertilization? Double fertilization means we can syngamy as well as triple fertilization collectively we can call as double fertilization. Let's write the points. First, the first point is here, the first pollen tube which is released two male gametes into cytoplasm of synergid cell, right? And after two male gamete, one male gamete which is going to move towards egg cell. Now the fusion of male gamete plus egg cell, that is called as what? Syngamy. The syngamy, it is also called as what? Fertilization. The syngamy which is also called as fertilization. Due to the fertilization, what happened? Diploid cell is formed. The diploid cell, the first diploid cell we can call as what? Zygote. Due to this fertilization which is formed, diploid cell is formed. The diploid cell we can call as zygote, which is in 2n in condition. Now this diploid zygote which is again undergoes mitosis division and to produce embryo. So this phenomena which is first observed by Strasburger in Monotropa plant in 1840. So this phenomena is first noticed by Strasburger, B-U-R-G-E-R, Strasburger in Monotropa plant in 1840 he was first noticed, right? Now one more male gamete is there, now we can call as second gamete. The second male gamete which is move towards central cell, nothing but we can call as what? Polar cell, right? Now the fusion of which is going to fuse central cell plus polar body gives rise to central cell is which in condition? Two nucleus are present, like central cell, here one nucleus, here one nucleus. Central cell plus male gamete. Second male gamete. Male gamete is which in haploid in condition. So this fusion of central cell plus second male gamete we can call as triple fusion. We can call as what? Triple fusion. Alright. So here due to this triple fusion, here how many nucleus? 2. Here one nucleus? 1. 2 plus 1. It going to become as what? Triploid. 3 n cells are formed. Due to this triple fusion, the fusion of central cell plus male gamete is called as triple fusion. Due to this triple fusion, triploid cells are formed. Triploid cells are formed, right? So these triploid cells we can call as PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. Here this triploid nucleus we can call as what? Primary endosperm nucleus, right? So this primary endosperm nucleus, which is again undergoes a cell division, nothing but mitosis division, to become as primary endosperm cells are going to form. So these all are in which in condition? 3n in condition, triploid in condition. So this special phenomena, so this triple fusion, like we can notice in most of angiosperm. Now the questions are, how many nucleus are involved in a double fertilization? How many nucleus are involved in syngamy? How many nucleus involved in a triple fusion? This is actually a way of asking of questions. The first one is, in syngamy, how many nucleus are involved? Only 2 nucleus are involved. One is male gamete, one is egg cell, female gamete. So here 1n, it is male plus one more haploid, that is female egg cell. Now become as what? 2n, that is zygote. In syngamy or nothing but fertilization, only two cells, nothing but 2 nucleus are involved. So the formation of cell is zygote, which is in diploid condition. Only 2 nucleus are involved. In triple fusion, how many nucleus are involved? 3 nucleus are involved. The first one is central cell, which is diploid in condition, as well as second male gamete, which is haploid in condition, 1 nucleus, and one more, it is act as female and it is act as male. Now formation of cell is 3n, triploid cell, which is endosperm. What the point? In fertilization only 2 nucleus are involved. In triple fusion 3 nucleus are involved. Triple fusion 3 nucleus are involved. Next, double fertilization. So this double fertilization, it means, what is the definition of double fertilization? It means syngamy as well as triple fusion collectively we can call as what? Double fertilization. Syngamy plus triple fusion. Syngamy plus triple fusion collectively we can call as what? Double fertilization. So this double fertilization, the word first used by Navashin. So this double fertilization, it is one of the major characters of angiosperm. Now how many nucleus are involved in double fertilization? 5 nucleus are involved in double fertilization. Let's see here, in syngamy how many nucleus? 2 nucleus. In triple fusion 3 nucleus. So these both collectively we can call as what? Double fertilization. So in double fertilization how many? 2 plus 2 plus 3, it is equal to 5 nucleus are involved in double fertilization, right? Next, a ovary, each ovary is containing number of locules. It is considered trilocular, pentalocular, tetralocular. Each locule is containing one ovule. It means that each ovule which is going to fertilized by separate pollen grain, nothing but separate pollen tube. Here, each ovary which consists number of ovule. Each ovule is going to fertilized by separate pollen grain. Separate pollen grain is nothing but what? Separate pollen tube. Right? Got the point? Next, here generally after fertilization, after a triple fusion, the endosperm is which in condition? 3n in condition. Actually, endosperm is 3 in condition. That is generally it is depend upon ploidy of central cell. It is based on what? Ploidy of central cell. So let's see, for example, here some different type of endosperma, ploidy, endosperm, ploidy. In first case, in case of angiosperma, what happened? Central cell is diploid in condition. Central cell is 2n, male gamete is 1n, to become as 3n conditions are formed. Right? What you have to know here, what you have to write in exam? In angiosperm, endosperm is formed after the fusion of triple gametes. Endosperm is formed, 3n. Next, in case of gymnosperma, we can't notice triple fertilization, triple fusion not noticed in case of where? Gymnosperm. Because in gymnosperms what happen here generally the first which one is haploid, female gamete. Female gamete is directly undergoes a mitosis divisions and become as endosperm. So that's why in gymnosperm, endosperm is which in condition? Haploid in condition. What the point? In angiosperm, endosperm is 3 in condition, but in gymnosperm, endosperm is haploid in condition. Why? Because reason is what? The reason is in gymnosperm, endosperm is formed without a triple fusion. In gymnosperm, female gamete which in condition? Haploid condition, which is directly undergoes mitosis divisions and become as what? Endosperm is formed. Female gamete is which in condition? Haploid. It means endosperm is also which in condition? Haploid. So it means in gymnosperms, triple fusion is absent. Got the point? Next, in third case of Enothera, one plant is there. Enothera, Enothera plant. Enothera lamarckiana. It is an angiosperm. But in this case actually central cell is haploid in condition. Now the second male gamete is going to fuse with the haploid central cell and become as diploid endosperm is formed. So in this case, in Enothera, central cell which is in condition? N, haploid in condition, fuse with the male gamete, which is also haploid in condition. So haploid plus haploid to become as what? Diploid. It is become as what? Become as endosperma. So this endosperm is in condition? Diploid in condition. Got the point? Simple. In competition exam, in angiosperms, endosperm is triploid in condition. In gymnosperm, haploid in condition. In Enothera lamarckiana, it is also be angiosperm, but here endosperm is not triploid, it is haploid endosperm. Next, post fertilization structures and event. Post fertilization structures and event. Which events are coming under post fertilization? Which events? Double fertilization, embryo development, and ovule is become as seed, fruit formation. These complete events we can collectively call as post fertilization events, which are double fertilization, next endosperm development, endosperm development, and ovule is become as seed, and ovary is become as fruit. These all events we can collectively call as post fertilization structures and events. So first we are going to discuss regarding endosperm. Right. So first point, endosperm is formed after the triple fission. So these cells all are triploid in condition. These all cells are triploid in condition, which are again undergoes a number of time of mitosis divisions, and to form group of parenchymatous cells are formed, that is called as tissue. We can call as what? Tissue. So this group of parenchymatous tissues nothing but endosperm tissue, which is containing large amount of food molecules, which is act as nutrition for development of embryo. Most of the case after formation of endosperm, zygote development is going to start. Most of the case what happen? After formation of endosperm, zygote development is going to start. Let's write the points. First, endosperm is formed after triple fusion. First, the cells are which in condition? Triploid in condition. The cells are which are 3n in condition. Next, so this primary endosperm nucleus, which are undergoes a mitosis division to produce primary endosperm cells. Primary endosperm cells again undergoes a mitosis division to form tissue. Endosperm tissue is formed. So this endosperm tissue, which is containing large amount of large amount of nutrients are present. So this large amount of nutrient which are used for development of endosperm, development of embryo, right? What is the point? So this is generally embryo development is start after the endosperm formation, right? Next, for example, endosperms we can notice generally, right? So generally endosperm generally which is going to utilize during the embryo development or during the maturity of the seed, the complete endosperm is going to consumed. First case. In second case, sometime it is going to persist in the seed. Such endosperm is utilized during the seed germination, right? Most of the monocots, cereals which consist of endosperm. The first point, endosperm is used at a embryo development or before the maturity of seed, What is the point? Example is beans. Example are what? Beans, groundnut inside example. Next, sometime endosperm is persist. Sometime endosperm is persist. It means permanent. That endosperm is consumed or used at a seed germination time. Seed germination time. Right? Next, in some species, endosperm is completely absent. Endosperm is absent. That is, endosperm is absent. That is, first one is which one? Orchids. In orchid species, endosperm is completely absent. Next, in case of coconut, we can notice like one is coconut water, milk water we can notice as well as one solid kernel we can notice. So this water is example of nuclear endosperm, free nuclear endosperm. So this solid kernel, white color kernel is example for cellular endosperm. Cellular endosperm, right? So this is actually information regarding endosperm. Based on development of the endosperm, which is again divided into three types. One is free nuclear endosperm, free nuclear, cellular and halobial endosperm. Based on development of endosperm, which is divided into three types, right? The first one is halobial endosperm, and second one is free nuclear endosperm, third cellular endosperm, right? So first one, let's discuss this one, right? Free nuclear endosperm. So free nuclear endosperm means here the first after the triple fission triploid cell is formed, which is undergoes a first division, karyokinesis. After the karyokinesis, immediately cytokinesis is not followed. So that's why number of large nucleus are formed within the common cytoplasm of central cell. So such type of endosperm we can call as what? Free nuclear endosperm. Here what I have to write? After karyogamy, first which is formed, primary endosperm nucleus is formed, which is undergoes which type of division? Karyogamy, right? After karyogamy, immediately not followed by the cytogamy. After karyogamy, which is immediately not followed by cytokinesis. Due to that, what happened? It means cytokinesis is not occurred. It means cell wall is not formed. Now what happened? So this large amount of nucleus which are freely occurred in cytoplasm of freely occurred in the cytoplasm of central cell. So this is actually free nuclear endosperm. The best example is milk or fluid of coconut. Next one is what? Next discuss cellular endosperm. Here, after completion of karyogamy, immediately cytokinesis is occurred. So that's why each and every cell which consists cell wall. So such type of endosperm we can call as what? Cellular endosperm. So after karyogamy, immediately cytokinesis is occurred. So that's why each cell which consists its own cell wall. So such type of is called as what? Cellular endosperm. Most of the dicots we can notice here. Example is most of dicots. Clear? Now third one is halobial. So in this case, actually the first division is followed by cytokinesis. So first karyokinesis, next cytokinesis. Due to the successful division of one metasis, two chambers are formed. After formation of two chambers, in each chamber again free nuclear division takes place. Right? Only first division is which one? Complete mitosis. It means karyokinesis plus cytokinesis. Due to that, what happened? Two chambers are formed. Later, in each chamber nucleus which is again undergoes like free nuclear divisions. Halobial endosperm, which is intermediate of halobial endosperm, it is intermediate for free nuclear as well as cellular. Example is monocots. Right? So here first diagram is, this is actually endosperm. Here free nucleus are present. First one, free nuclear endosperm. Cytokinesis is not takes place, cell wall is not formed. In second case here, like so this is actually what? Cellular endosperm. Each cell is containing its own cytoplasm as well as own cell wall is present. That is cellular. And third one is here, the first, due to the successful division, first metasis, like two chambers are formed. This is one chamber, this is one chamber. Later again free nuclear cell divisions takes place. Right? So this is actually three types of endosperm. So these three types which is not given in NCERT, this is purely for only competition purpose, not for subject to exam. Next, embryo. Generally fusion of male and female gamete. After the fusion of male and female gamete, zygote is formed. The zygote which undergoes a mitosis division to produce embryo. Most of the cases, embryo formation which takes place towards a micropyle region. Second point, embryo development is start after the formation of group of cells, nothing but tissue of endosperm. Then only embryo development takes place. And the development of embryo, monocot as well as dicot, which are mostly same. Right? Let's write the points first. After the fertilization, zygote is formed. So zygote which undergoes a mitosis division to produce embryo become as what? Embryo. Embryo development is takes place towards micropyle region. First point. Next, embryo development which is start after formation of after formation of endosperm. After the formation of endosperm tissue. Why? Because the endosperm which is going to provide the nutrition for development of embryo. The endosperm which provide the nutrient for development of embryo. So that's why the embryo development is start or takes place after the formation of endosperm tissue. Right? Next point. Embryo development which is mostly same in monocot as well as dicot, mostly same, right? Let's see dicot development stages of dicot embryo development, right? Simple. The first formation of embryo is called as a proembryo. The first formation of embryo is called as proembryo. Later proembryo, this is actually zygote which undergoes a division to form of two cells. Later 4 to 8 like it's going to form. It is proembryo. Now it is going to become as globular embryo. Later become as globular embryo. Right? So here these cells we can call as suspensor cells. It is called as what? Suspensor cells. So these suspensor cells which are useful to pushing off embryo towards the endosperm region. Next, these globular embryos again undergoes a division to form of globular to heart-shaped embryo. Heart-shaped embryo is formed. Right? Now heart-shaped embryo is going to mature to become as one complete embryo to like organisms are going to, embryo to different organs are going to form. So let's see, this is actually dicot embryo. The dicot embryo which is containing one embryonal axis as well as two cotyledons, which is consist one embryonal axis and two cotyledons right? Here these two cotyledons, first one is above the cotyledons, tip of the cotyledons we can notice the plumule, it is become as shoot. Above the cotyledons, that portion we can call as what? Plumule, which is going to become as shoot. Nothing but it is become as stem. Right? Next, lower the cotyledons or below the cotyledons. The portion we can call as hypocotyle. So above the cotyledon, the portion we can call as generally epicotyle, which consists of what? Plumule, like we have to understand. And lower cotyledon which consists of hypocotyle, which is going to terminated by radical, the radical which is become as what? Root. During the seed germination, plumule become as what? Stem, and radical become as what? Root. Above the cotyledon portion we can call as what? Epicotyle. Below the cotyledon the portion we can call as what? Hypocotyle. And this radical which is going to covered, it means it is going to covered by one small cap, that is called as what? A root cap. So this is actually a root cap. So this is two cotyledons, so that's why it is called as dicotyledon seeds. It is radical covered by root cap. Below the portion of cotyledon we can call as hypocotyle. Above the portion we can call as epicotyle, that portion we can call as a plumule. Plumule is become as stem. So this is actually dicot embryo. Next, monocot embryo. Monocot embryo. So this is actually monocot embryo, the diagrammatical representation here. The monocot embryo, which is containing only one cotyledon. That one cotyledon we can call as scutellum. And where the scutellum is attached to the embryo, the above surface we can notice epicotyle. The epicotyle which is containing plumule. The lower axis, the lower cotyledon which is consist, one is radicle as well as root cap. The radicle as well as root cap which are going to covered by one sheath like structure that we can call as coleorhiza, which is not noticed in a dicot development. Right? On above the where the scutellum is attached to the embryonal axis like that, in that portion we can notice epicotyle which is containing plumule. The plumule which is also be covered by one sheath that we can call as, it is coleorhiza, it is coleoptile. It is called as what? Coleoptile. Right? So from here, below the coleoptile we can notice, you can say shoot apex, it is become as stem. So this radicle is going to become as what? Root. Let's write the points in monocot embryo. First, embryonal axis. Embryonal axis, it is as usual in monocot as well as dicot, and consists only one cotyledon, and consists only one cotyledon, right? And lower cotyledon, and lower cotyledon portion we can notice what? One is radicle as well as root cap. This radicle as well as root cap which are going to covered by one sheath like structure, that is called as what? Coleorhiza. 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 Next, where the scutellum is attached to the embryo or embryonal axis, on that above the cotyledon we can notice, above the cotyledon we can notice epicotyle which consists plumule. The plumule is become as what? Shoot. The plumule is become as what? Shoot. So the plumule which is going to covered by again one sheath like structure, that we can call as what? Coleoptile. Can call as what? Coleoptile. Coleorhiza, radicle covering sheet. Coleoptile, plumule covering sheath. That's it. Third point. Only one cotyledon is present, that we can call as scutellum. That we can call as what? Scutellum. Only one cotyledon, that is called as scutellum. So the position is always lateral side to the embryo. Right? Next here one more small portion is given, epiblast. Epiblast is one small portion is given. Actually epiblast is equal to second cotyledon, but it is not developed, it is a reduced cotyledon. Epiblast is equal to second cotyledon, which is completely reduced. So it means in monocots only one cotyledon is developed. So that's why the seeds, such containing seeds we can call as what? Monocotyledon. Monocotyledon seed or monocotyledon embryo. So this is actually embryo of monocot as well as dicot. Thank you all of you.